There were two firms that did that, and as you can see in their statement of qualifications, URS has got, as Steve said, a lot of experience within this state of doing this. So, we feel this is definitely the best firm for us. We have negotiated the scope, and basically, I guess, in closing, and then obviously we'll be happy to answer any questions, what I'd like to do, and I can do this under new business or consent, is add an item to the agenda for approval of a contract with them on the 23rd of January and get them going.
Any objection to that?
And with that, I'll...
It's nice to have you with us.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Being sitting this one.
Yeah.
This is a big issue.
Yes, it is.
Before we see what you come up with, please build it.
Good. Good.
Thank you.
Just as a note, there's been a lot of interest in this lately, in part because we've been seeing a lot of flooding and stormwater problems. They've been turning in our face. Really, in light of our consent agreement with the state, in terms of mitigating our combined sewer system, that obviously as we take stormwater off the sewer system, that ends up on the streets, and so it's kind of exacerbating our stormwater problem and the need to deal with it. It's good to hear that you all have experience dealing with the state. We have a rather unique relationship with the state here in Frankfort, being the state capital. I'm sure somebody's mentioned that about 65% of the impervious surface in the city is tax exempt. And therefore, 2/3 of the problems being caused by folks who aren't paying to clean it up. And I think that's the real benefit to us and to our taxpayers in terms of the stormwater utilities. It could really help ease the burden on local homeowners and shift that burden more towards tax exempt entities like the state, who are, I think fairly responsible for such a large portion of the problem.
Yeah, it just makes sense for you guys to be thinking about this.
Sure. But I'm glad we got the Louisville folks. The folks who handle Jefferson County on this.
Well, we do currently do a lot of work for the stormwater program. We do their permit right now for MPDS permit. But we're also doing some of their combined sewer work and consent decree work. So we understand the relationship, and there is a relationship between what happens in the consent decree and what happens in stormwater. And so those are things you're going to have to think about seriously, because you're going to create a lot more stormwater as you do what you're supposed to do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next, Mr. Clemens.
Thank you, Mayor. Some time ago, the City Commission decided that they'd like to inspect our city facilities, and we started off with the first one would be this building, City Hall, and now their code enforcement will do a report on what they found.
Yeah.
We did the inspection of City Hall, just the inside, in December. That included this portion as well as the fire admin area and the fire garage, fire station. We're working with the Frankfort on doing their side as well. And I was going to give you a brief summary, but on the last 4 or 5 pages are the photos of some examples of some violations. I did a little bubble to try to explain what the photos mean. There are several minor repetitive violations throughout numerous departments. Some of the key ones are the ones that I highlighted with the photographs. And I did ask Robbie to attend. Robbie, myself, the building inspector, the electrical inspector, did the walkthrough. And I don't know how detailed you want me to get into, or if you would like us to have a subsequent future meeting to discuss this in more detail. It's my understanding the basis of this was to possibly come up with maybe some budget numbers for the upcoming budget to have some of this addressed. There are a couple of safety issues in there discussed this with Fred prior to tonight as well. And then needing more direction from you if you want us to go ahead and proceed and do all of their buildings, including the barn and sheds, or just concentrate on one of the buildings that contain staff.
Are we safe to sit here?
We're safe to sit here in this room, yes.
I don't know about you, positive.
Minor damage, but yeah. And I don't know how, I can elaborate, I can go through it in detail, we can do a PowerPoint presentation, I took numerous photos. Everything that's written has a photograph associated with it, but I only gave you a sample of the photographs. I just didn't know how detailed you wanted, and I didn't want to cause any alarm for other state agencies who possibly want to give us this either. So I'm trying to be as general but specific as possible. But I can go all out if you like this.
My 2 cents, and
Commissioner Wilder?
my 2 cents, if the rest of the commission wants to hear more detail, I don't have an objection to that, but my sense is that you all are professionals and you know what the safety violations are, and I assume you have a practical understanding of what needs to be addressed. I'm comfortable. I'm glad this is being done. I'm pushing on to do it. What needs to be done.
Commissioner Turner?
I guess, I would agree that I don't know if we need a full presentation in terms of, the PowerPoint or anything like that, but you never want, get too many people paying attention, I guess, on this particular state. But I guess, if I could say, or ask, what do you all feel is the most glowing issue that needs to be fixed, or the most dangerous issue that we need to address?
The exit signs, it's imperative, I think, we do that. There's 2 exit signs that will need, one basically relocated or add one, and then definitely add a new one. The other thing we would like to do, we tried to test the actual emergency lights. You have to have the power off in order to see if they click on. We flipped a couple panel switches on our side of the hall and we didn't see anything happen. So we don't know if it's been rewired or if it's hooked up to a different generator. So we would like to do that test because those are important to make sure they are functioning. There were a couple of quick, easy fixes that were very important that have already been addressed, and they're not even highlighted in here. Some of these do cost money. Trip hazards is one that I think we ought to try to come up with a plan, come up with a strategy to fix some of those. The energy efficiency of our building due to the fire leaks, the damage from the leaks, the holes in ceilings, missing insulation. That's a budgetary item, but it would save us money in the long run also. So I would hope we can maybe put that in our budget. There is a vending machine in the back that I think ought to be relocated. It blocks ADA access. If someone's in the back and power goes out, or there's a fire on this side, the only way they get to exit is through that side, and they wouldn't be able to get through the opening. This blocked by 3 or 4 inches, so I think that's a relatively easy fix. We have a break room there. You could house them until we come up with something else.
That would be an immediate recommendation, and I would have to go ahead and do that. I'll move that out of the way.
Yes, I just think,
Does that answer your all's questions?
yeah, at least setting up a priority and then thinking about a budget. I mean, obviously, we can't do everything. All of it costs money, especially, I guess the mold in the upstairs is also kind of a big deal,
Yeah.
But as long as we have the list, I really appreciate you guys doing this, and your hard work. I know it was a holiday and everything, you had your city suite, but thank you for taking the time.
So you'll be working, who's going to be having?
We have had already some internal discussions about immediately working on this. And of course, Mr. Hackmark's department is involved in upkeep of this building. And we appreciate, code enforcement pointing these things out. And so we didn't want, we didn't want to go in and correct everything before the report. And we couldn't actually correct everything, but we did do a few things. And these more immediate health and safety hazards we will address very quickly. And I've already talked with Jeff about it. Did you want to add anything, Jeff?
But we'll continue with the other buildings that college employees do walkthroughs on those as well. And prioritize those and work with Fred and Jeff.
Thank you so much.
Just real quick, I've already spoken with Andy Ferris, our building maintenance supervisor, and he's going to go through the list, and he said in about 4 weeks he should get a majority of these things corrected. And we'll just continue to work with planning, zoning, and maybe on electrical issues, working with Angie. Maybe she could assist Angie in getting some of these issues resolved from the electrical side. Of course, we want that roof, given it's winter, it's been kind of one of those ongoing, and we're just hoping to get that done to stop the leaks, and we can repair some of the ceiling tiles. But he said in about 3 or 4 weeks, most of this should be completed.
Haven't you been in contact with someone that will do the assessment of the mold?
Yes, we have a proposal to do testing of the mold, see what type it is, and what their recommendation to address the mold. So we've got a proposal in hand, and we're ready to act on the mold. However, it's still leaking until the roof is actually repaired. It's going to be an ongoing.
Maybe to close the office for a couple days for everybody?
Yeah,
Let the white seats go. Give it a Monday and a Tuesday.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Boyd, continue.
Next item is city priorities for 2012. You should have a list available to you there of what were determined to be priorities. At the start of this year, the commission went through an exercise and identified their priorities. Oh, yes, you were. This was the priority. The other was the list of ordinances. Yeah, this was the one at the start of the term. By the way, happy first anniversary to everybody. We've now been on here a year. We've all survived a year. You survived longer than that. People in their second term.
Okay, how you want to start this?
Whatever's the will of the commission. They want.
Is there some particular, we've been addressing these things for 2 years, or for a year. Is there anything you'd like to add or you need from this? I have some things, we don't have, I've got a couple things on it before, so.
Okay.
But I don't want you all to go ahead next. Okay, I guess the first one we have up there is the one I think is the most important. About we need to have a structurally sound balanced budget. Continue, and you're going to be starting on that real soon. I don't see on here that what is really my personal, other than the sound budget, is to the resolution of the garage issue. And I think that we have to address that quickly. Just reading in the paper, I guess you all did too, or that the Justice Building is now projected to be ready September of 2013. And we have a commitment for 35 parking spaces when they come back in. And so I just hope that we will start addressing that and try to get some resolution to that as quickly as possible. I won't be going into kind of discussion later on today on property, that maybe that comes up, I don't know. But that's one, and we don't have on here a city plan, but I think we've discussed this in the last year, the need for a city plan of some type. Just this past few days, I read an editorial in the Lexington paper about smart cities. And we have all the ingredients of what is considered in there a smart city. The 4 components, they said, was to be in a city that has a state university. And we have that. And it's the land, and I think it's significant that we have that our state university is a land grant university. Another component is that to have an educated workforce. And with our university and with our school system, I see that we can get involved with that. And good business climate, good business emphasis. And then another is that, which you, members of the commission, look better than me, talks about broadband technology. And so what I would like to see, as we go through this year, is perhaps to bring together some representatives from the Kentucky State University, two school systems, the Chamber of Commerce, our own staff, and look at what really is a smart city. They talk about Austin, Texas, and Boulder, Colorado, but basically it's where you have universities, and we want our city to be top notch. And I think we have the ingredients, then we can get some effort going, facilitate bringing all these groups together to just explore what it would take for us to have a destination. Mr. Turner?
I would just like to add, Mayor, and commend you. I think that's an excellent idea. I think it's certainly something worthy of us to pursue. I think it also, bringing those various groups together to discuss this issue also fits with one of our other key priorities for the previous year, was building strategic partnerships, continuing that line of communication. I think this commission is, if I'm not mistaken, has had more joint meetings with the county than any other commission in recent memory, and I think that's a positive step, and we need to do more of that type of thing, and certainly your suggestion of getting together and discussing what we need to do to be that smart city that we all know that we are is a great idea, and something that we should certainly pursue.
I think this is a great conversation to start the new year, and it gives me a lot of hope. Because I feel like we're on the same page. I feel like that's pretty safe to say. This idea of doing a comprehensive city plan was inadvertently discussed when we were asking KCDC for a smaller scale economic development plan for downtown. And we got lots of feedback at that time from other organizations, including DFI, tourism, Chamber of Commerce, et cetera, that they would be interested in participating and helping to facilitate, a large-scale, community-wide visioning process. I think sounds very similar, to what we're hearing here. That can be a time-consuming process, obviously. But I agree that should be if not the top priority for this term. And the only other 2 cents I'd put in is that beyond recognizing and inviting all of the relevant stakeholders this is something that I think should really be taken to the community. Taken to the community as well. To get just basic input from the public in terms of what they'd like to see in their dream city, so to speak. Because, we're going to hear about stuff ranging from economic development initiatives to streetscape to public art to streetlights to who knows what. But
Do we need to do something to prioritize on right now? Like, maybe pick 2 or 3 or something we really want, like 1, 2, 3 or something. I want to see the plan. I'd like to talk to smart city, do that, and to get some decisions made on the parking garage.
I agree that all those need to get done. There's one other thing on this list I'd like to see, which would be, try to find a new location for the Humane Society to get them out of the floodplain. Which doesn't necessarily have to be one of the top 3, but I would still like to see that on the priority list.
I agree, and I think that could be done in tandem with a couple of these other items.
Right.
That seems like something we should collaborate. We should be able to collaborate with other agencies on as well. I'm really hopeful that if the planned order consolidation works out, that might create an opportunity.
Right.
Commissioner May.
Yeah, I think, I like all that is, I think for me, the most important thing when I thought about over the weekend about this meeting was to go back and make sure that we are, like the last item on this list, and it's not in order if it's last, but ensure a high level of public safety and other essential services is to make sure that we're maintaining our employee staffing levels and equipment levels, because I think that we've had some areas where I think department heads will tell you we're lacking in some staffing and some equipment areas. We don't have, I guess the city manager's going to be working on the budget.
Very soon.
If not already, I was going to say will be soon, so I think for me that will be my number one priority, is to make sure we have that high level of public safety and other essential services first, and then sort of, all these are important, and it's hard to always rank when you have a list of important issues, which one's the most important, but for me, I would say that to answer that question, that would be number one for me.
If I could tackle that, I'd say that some of these items require more time and energy than they do money, like comprehensive planning, for example. And I'll just say that in terms of fiscal issues, in terms of priorities, in terms of spending money, I'll agree that fleet maintenance in particular, I mean, it's been neglected for a while. And when we asked city employees to express their concerns, I think we were expecting to hear lots of talk about longevity pay and benefits, et cetera, but we heard just as much about the need to maintain fleet. So I agree.
Fine. Driving down things we discussed here. Just like to review what I have got it down. Maintain the first one, a sound budget. Garage issue, resolve resolution of the garage issue. Looking at a city plan, explore what it is about it takes to become maybe like a smart city or bring people together and maintain public safety issues, and then the Humane Society, legislate the Humane Society. That sounds pretty good, probably.
Well, I'd also include actually getting a sustainability coordinator hired. I know that we budgeted for it, and we've been in talks with other agencies about partnering on that. But it hasn't happened.
Our budget is just, I mean, we didn't budget for a full-time.
No, we didn't.
No, it was supposed to be a shared,
Right.
you know. That was supposed to be shared with two other agencies.
Yes, we had hoped to partner with two other agencies. And I think we budgeted 30 to 40% of that cost. Can't remember the number right off. 26,000?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sounds right.
That sounds right.
So then it had to be either have to bite the bullet or continue to work with the other two agencies. Yeah, see what they're doing.
I don't, to be honest with you, I don't think the other two agencies, right now, I don't think it's a priority to do this. So if the commission wants us to go forward individually, then, or, I mean, it could be designed another way. It could be a part-time, or it could be a consultant. Doesn't have to be a full-time person.
And of course, that's going back to the previous discussion, this, for us, because I'm just speaking candidly, this, to me, is not a highest priority. These other things, to me, are more of a priority because we have been working on energy conservation, doing some things that which has been pushed by the commission. Now that I'm in here.
We took the study that the University of Louisville completed, and we're still, that's still our focus to make those improvements because they have been identified. But the problems, we had some money in a grant, and then, did we spend that money, or did we divert that money?
We have about $70,000 left in the grant. And that money now is going to go to the roof. We're going to do the lights and the ceiling tiles in the city hall. But then the roof became an emergency. And so that money will be spent completing the roof replacement.
And some of the things that have been identified by the code inspection would also fall into that definition of energy savings or improvements, such as replacing the insulation in the tiles, holes in masonry, and some problems that we found upstairs in this building.
Okay, Commissioner Wilder.
This is, a conversation that's been going on for a couple of years now, and there kind of seem to be two different views on what a sustainability coordinator would do and be responsible for. But I'm sorry to be repetitive. But critics of a coordinator who claim they would be responsible for like switching out light bulbs or